If you fly the DJI Avata 360, you may not know there's actually 3 ways to control this aircraft. The first one is the RC2 with the built-in screen that gives you full control of all of the automated features of the Avata. The second one is the motion controller and paired with the Goggles 3 that actually gives you more of an immersive FPV experience. But the third one, which is my favorite, is the RC3 controller. I like this because I feel it gives me full control of the aircraft. Hi, I'm Bill and welcome back to the channel. Let me grab my goggles and I'll take you through what it's like to fly the DJI Avata 360 paired with the RC3. We've got the Avata 360 on the landing pad ready to get airborne. So let's go ahead and start the motors by moving the sticks out away from each other. Now we're up in the air. And as you notice in the lower right-hand corner there, we've got the obstacle avoidance on currently. What we're gonna do is go over the different lenses the camera has available. In the upper right-hand corner, you see that it says 360. So we're in 360 mode. If I move the 5D button forward, the first thing it defaults to is 360 or single lens. So let's go ahead and switch it to single lens. It says here that we're only gonna have forward obstacle sensing available. So we're in single lens mode. And as we can see here, we still have all of the standard camera settings. So it's kind of like an Avata 2 with a much better camera available. And you still have the rock steady. So we'll back out of here. And now as you notice in the bottom right, we only have forward obstacle detection available. So I'm gonna press down on the 5D button. We're gonna go into settings and I'm gonna go into my camera settings here. And as we notice, we have 4K 60, which I like to fly in 4K 60. We've got neutral wide, and that's a field of view, and that's something new for the Avata 360 here. We have normal, and you can see how the perspective changed there, and then we have wide. And the natural wide that we have down here, I tend to like. I haven't really flown this craft too much with the single lens view because obviously I would probably use the Avata 2, which does have full manual mode where the Avata 360 does not have full manual mode. But I just wanted to show you had different lens options available within the single view lens. So I'm gonna move up on the 5D button. We're gonna change it back to 360 here, and you saw that that changed. And if we move over to the right here, I'm using fully auto settings today, but you can put it in manual mode. You notice the aspect ratio is 2:1, and I'm recording at 8K 60. One of the things that you want to do is record in 60 frames per second because as you notice, you see I move the drone and it's clear. It's not shuddery or stuttery in any way. If I were to go down and change this to 30 frames per second, which this actual YouTube video will be 30 frames per second when it's rendered out, so it's going to skip every other frame. But now that we're in 30 frames per second, if I rotate the drone, see how the frame is very stuttery, which is hard when you're flying FPV to keep your perspective and everything else. So we're gonna go ahead and bump that back up to 60 frames per second and go from there. The only other things that you do lose is when flying with the Remote Controller 3, as you notice here, the focus track is not available. That's only available in the goggles when you're using the motion controller. This is our enhanced display. If I turn that off, you see it's not quite as pronounced, but if I turn it on, I can see in the shadows a little bit better. And then here we have our head tracking, which is not available when using the Remote Controller 3, nor is the Easy Acro, but everything else is. And I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my defogging here because I'm fogging up a little bit. It's a nice humid morning here in Georgia. So I'm gonna back out of here. And let's go ahead and do some recording and see what we can do with this 360 camera. So I'm gonna go ahead and press the record button here. I also have some interesting things here where if you were to pan down, you notice the normal Avata will go down this low, but with the 360, it's actually gonna go all the way around, which is really cool. Now, of course, you really wouldn't want to fly this way because you can do all of this in post. The other thing that I've done is I've set up my C2 button here, so now I can look down and that recenters my view to 0 there. So let's go ahead and let's do some flying here. So we'll go ahead and we'll drop down. And let's go ahead and take a trip through the old wooden bridge here. How about that? That sounds like a good idea to me. Now, when you're filming in 360, and the first thing we see here, we've got obstacle avoidance on. So what I want to do is I'm going to turn that off because I really don't want to have that on. So under safety here, we're going to go down to obstacle avoidance so our flight is not restricted. So we're going to turn that off. We'll back out of there. And then we're just going to proceed through the bridge here. Now, when you're flying with a 360 camera, you want to make sure that you don't go too fast because in your post-processing, you're probably going to want to spin this around. Now, as you notice, I made a slight correction there, and I'm using the yaw, the left-hand stick right to left, to make my correction instead of the craft right to left with the right stick. So we'll travel down the road here, and let's go ahead and let's go out over through the old buildings here. Now, one of the things that I really like about this 360 is you can reframe it in post-process. Now, one of the hardest things, especially for a new pilot, is doing an orbit where you would actually just fly up and you would orbit around like this steeple here. Well, in the case of the 360 camera, you just need the driver fly around the object itself. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna fly a circle around this steeple here. And then I'm going to gradually raise up and go out a little further to change our perspective. So what we'll do is we'll show you what that looks like after we get back in the studio and render out the video there. So we've done a couple of things here. Where we're at today is a park in Georgia here, and they've got some really nice water features. And one of the things that I really like about the 360 camera is you can fly it normally, and then in post, change your angle. And one of the things that I really like to do is have a downward shot over the water itself. But it's obviously very hard to fly a drone with your camera pointing straight down at the water, especially when you've got the obstacle avoidance on here. So we'll drop down over the water here. And one of the things, we're filming in 60 frames per second, which in post-process, you can slow this down. So let's go ahead and we'll stop here, and then we'll take a run right back up the river here. So we've got our shot set up, and we're just gonna truck forward here. And as you're noticing, there really isn't too much of a stitch line in the center of the screen here. They've had a software update, which is really nice, and it does seem to make things a lot better. And one of the really neat things is you can change your camera's perspective. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna fly underneath this bridge here. And on up the river. But in post, you can turn it so it looks like you actually switch directions in the quad when you're flying. But as you see, I'm just flying straight ahead here without any problem at all. So we'll go ahead and we'll pop up above the trees here. If you've made it this far in the video, I really would appreciate it if you could hit that like button and maybe subscribe for more content like this. So we'll go ahead and we'll come on over here and we'll land the Avata. And overall, I'm very impressed with this. I wish it did have manual mode, but DJI is saying that the craft itself doesn't lend itself towards flying FPV because it's narrower. But to tell you the truth, from my experience flying the Avata 360, it's way more stable than the Avata 2, and I think it would be a good candidate for manual mode. So maybe drop DJI support a thing and say, hey, I'd like to see manual mode. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna move my camera down here so I can see my landing pad, and I'm gonna go ahead and come down and land. We'll put the camera back down here so we can actually see. And I hope this has given you a brief overview, or at least a good overview, of what to expect when flying the DJI Avata 360 with the Remote Controller 3 and the Goggles 3. Thanks again for watching, and we'll definitely catch you on the next one.